Hi, welcome to Recap Unleash. This movie is a captivating drama psychological thriller called Inside that tells the story of a thief trapped inside an ingenious smart house where escape seems impossible within the confines of a wretched life. Unleash the thrill with Recap Unleash. Lightning fast movie recaps that inform and entertain in a flash. Subscribe now and experience the magic of movies in a heartbeat. The movie opens with a bustling downtown and zooms in on a luxurious but seemingly abandoned penthouse. The distant sound of helicopter blades adds to the suspense, setting the stage for the unfolding mysteries. A skilled housebreaker Nemo lands daringly on the rooftop via a helicopter. He deftly cuts through security netting and gains access to the building. Once inside, Nemo expertly disables the security system using a terminal. In the final 7 minutes, Nemo fervently seizes luxury goods and art from the apartment, but he's dismayed when he can't find Aegon Sheila's self-portrait. Seeking guidance from his accomplice via radio, Nemo searches the video installation room, yet the masterpiece eludes him. Realizing the risk, he decides to escape with the loot he already has. However, his daring escape is complicated when a security system malfunction or wrong code entry triggers the alarm, trapping him inside and intensifying the challenge of his escape. His associates have abandoned him, leaving him in a state of panic. Nemo attempts to break the glass door and hack into the terminal, but his efforts prove futile. Amid the blaring siren, Nemo calmly disables the flickering lamps, blocks out the noise, and hunts down the sonic torture speakers. After some time, he successfully disables them. Wandering around the spacious apartment, Nemo admires the rich decoration door. He tries to break open the door with a knife but fails and becomes frustrated upon realizing it's made with a combination of wood and steel. A malfunctioning security system triggered the digital brain to activate the heating, raising the temperature. Trying to quench his thirst, he finds the tap water has stopped flowing, and the fridge is empty, leaving him with no choice but to replenish the supplies. After exhausting attempts to break open the locked door, Nemo takes a break and rests on the couch, trying to reach his companion through the radio. With no response, he retrieves vodka, moldy cookies, and black caviar from the refrigerator, and sits in front of a malfunctioning television, connected not only to cable channels but also to the video surveillance system. The following morning, Nemo is awakened by the sound of a helicopter. He rushes to the glass door hoping it has come back for him only to find a trapped pigeon on the terrace, covered with netting. After washing himself with the pool water, Nemo attempts to contact his partner in crime through the radio. Then he tries the phone but is disconnected. The owner's work computer is also disconnected, as the owner is away on a business trip to Kazakhstan to build a tower. So he wanders the apartment again. In the next scene, Nemo attempts to break the glass with the citrus fruits, but as expected, it doesn't work. He spots a ceiling window that can be opened or broken and decides to construct a makeshift tower using furniture from the apartment, inspired by the story of the Tower of Babel, to reach the window. Later, he comes across a hose in the greenhouse buried among the plants, but like the rest of the water system, it doesn't work, leaving him thirsty. Nemo is forced to resort to sucking ice to quench his thirst. In his desperate attempts to escape, Nemo tears apart chairs to reinforce the earlier constructed tower and utilizes cloth to climb it with daring agility, but it falls short of enabling him to reach the window and attain his freedom. He then sketches a new strategy while the smart house activates surveillance cameras, showing the maid having lunch on the steps. Once she leaves, Nemo, feeling frustrated, goes to the shattered control panel to adjust the thermostat but realizes he faces additional challenges beyond temperature control. Nemo is running out of food, and his attempts to open cans without a can opener result in him cutting his hand. His desperation and challenges continue to mount as he struggles with the heat and thirst. He seeks refuge in the open refrigerator. The next day, using an art object as a makeshift chisel, Nemo opens the freezer, finding supplies of meat and canned dog food. Meanwhile, Nemo hears the sound of pouring water as the greenhouse sprinkler automatically turns on. He rushes to drink from it and lies down to cool off. Nemo continues to search for a way to escape, tearing down curtains and rearranging beds to reinforce his tower. Despite its instability, he manages to reach the window on the ceiling, which initially appears as solid as the walls. Exhausted from the heat of the night, Nemo takes a moment to sketch in his notebook and observes a maid named Jasmine on the surveillance cameras. He notices that she is just on the other side of the front door, but she doesn't respond to the noise he makes as she is listening to music on her headphones. Nemo watches as she walks away and takes the elevator downstairs. Later, as the smart home switches back to a cooler climate, Nemo finds relief from the oppressive heat in the apartment. The next morning, Nemo collects the water from the bowls, preserving it in a bottle for another day or two. With renewed strength, Nemo explores the unsearched rooms of the spacious apartment. He breaks a vase and gathers shards of protective glass to secure himself. He climbs the tower he built and starts to chisel the window frame to escape, but realizes an unmovable iron nut bars his way. But he continues to chisel, determined to find a way out. During lunch, Nemo observes the local workers through the surveillance cameras and starts engaging in conversations with them as if they were old friends. Nemo's boredom and loneliness grow, so he tries to brighten his evenings by looking through a telescope and fixing control terminals. He would even sit down and talk to a trapped pigeon outside the window and playfully edit the pictures on the wall. Despite these distractions, his situation remains challenging and seemingly hopeless. In the next scene, Nemo breaks into a wardrobe where he discovers a secret passage. There he finds a self-portrait of Sheila, and a rubber puppet of the house owner, along with a copy of The Marriage of Heaven and Hell by the English poet William Blake. The book appears to be a rare and precious find. Nemo returns to the apartment with newfound rarities and is saddened to find a dead pigeon, whom he considered a companion in his misfortune. Nemo spots Jasmine resting at the front door but cannot reach her despite making noise to get her attention. The thick door leaves him feeling even more isolated. In his dreams, Nemo attends an exhibition hosted by the apartment's owner, treated as a friend. Amid discussions about Sheila's paintings, Jasmine stands out among faceless guests. As the owner proclaims doom, Nemo drifts away, climbing a shimmering, dark staircase, feeling foreboding and uncertainty. The next day, Nemo is determined to escape. He destroys a chair, using its wooden leg to craft a makeshift wrench-like tool to unscrew the nuts holding the glass in place. However, his efforts are in vain as the wooden tool breaks, leaving him frustrated and still trapped. Feeling hungry and uncertain, he catches a fish from the aquarium and eats it, as he contemplates his next move. As time passes, he resorts to drawing on the concrete walls with charcoal and telling himself jokes to pass the time. Eventually, he manages to create a more advanced wrench that successfully unscrews a couple of fasteners holding the glass. Now, Nemo has fewer chairs left and the food supply diminishes. His drawing on the wall grows larger. He creates a man-made altar, laying knots each night to symbolize his journey to liberation, merging it with the drawing. In the next scene, the climate control system switches back to heating, intensifying the heat in the penthouse. Nemo is now deprived of food and water. His desperation drives him to more destructive actions, disrupting the fragile ecosystem. One day, while attempting to unscrew a window nut to escape, he falls from the tower, breaking his leg. Tragically, he was just 2 knots away from potential freedom. During his gradual recovery, Nemo gazes outside through the window and imagines Jasmine, a girl in uniform, appearing as a figment of his isolated mind, a way to cope with loneliness. Nemo continues to experience hallucinations and delusions. The owner of the penthouse appears behind him in the mirror and inflicts harm, but upon waking, Nemo realizes it was another creation of his unhinged mind. One day, Nemo notices the fire alarm sensors on the ceiling. In a desperate attempt, he tears some paper sheets and uses a magnifying glass to create a fire, inadvertently triggering the fire extinguishing system. As water pours from the fire extinguishing system, Nemo's situation becomes even more chaotic and challenging, with the surveillance camera potentially compromised. Nemo's isolation and deteriorating mental state blur his reality. He feels like a fish adrift in water, trapped in the monotonous penthouse with no escape in sight. Amidst the falling snow outside, Nemo composes a heartfelt message, apologizing to the apartment owner for all that has occurred and revealing that he saved 3 pieces of art from flooding. With great care, he arranges the unscrewed nuts at his man-made altar, revering his creation. Before leaving, Nemo leaves a note for the landlord, etched on the wall. Nemo's ascent up the self-constructed tower symbolizes his journey from a petty criminal to a sensible artist, but it is also where he meets his end. This place represents his imprisonment and transformation. Thanks for watching. And please like and subscribe, it would mean a world to me.